Good day, I'm Andrea Chizom and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, December 10. The Economic Program Oversight Committee (EPOC) has expressed optimism that Jamaica's economy can see positive growth and maintain minimal inflation for the final quarter of 2014. At a press briefing on Tuesday, EPOC co-chairman Richard Biles said while the estimated 0.8% economic contraction in the last quarter was not good news, there were positive indicators going forward.
Looks to me like the drought is broken. Looks to me like we are poised to have a good tourism season. So we can keep our fingers crossed that we'll regain some ground in the December quarter.
He was also encouraged by Statin's report of 0.1% inflation for October, which he said broke the high inflation trend of the previous 3 months. And the EPOC co-chairman said Jamaica's economy stood to benefit if the recent dramatic fall in oil prices is sustained over the next 12 to 18 months. In the meantime, EPOC is reporting that Jamaica continues to perform well on 2 of the important economic indicators tracked by the International Monetary Fund. While there were no midterm IMF quantitative targets to be met, Mr. Biles said based on government's budget, the primary balance for April to October and net international reserves for November surpassed the targets.
The government had a primary balance of 45.9 billion, which exceeded the target by 7.5%. They ended November with approximately $2 billion US of NIR. This exceeded not just the November target, but also the December IMF target.
Mr. Biles did, however, express concern that the improved primary balance again reflected lower than budgeted tax revenues that had to be compensated by less expenditure than initially budgeted. On a more positive note, he said the country was on track to meet all 3 structural benchmarks for the October to December quarter under the IMF Extended Fund Facility. Meanwhile, government has transferred $14.4 billion from a contingency provision to meet programmed expenditures in the public sector. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips gave details of the breakdown in a statement to Parliament on Tuesday.
To meet programmed commitments, which include salary and salary-related commitments, which represented some 11.4 billion, electricity areas to be settled of 1.4 billion, 1 billion for drugs and medical supplies, and GCT on government purchases amounting to some 300 million.
He added that $3.1 billion remained under the contingency to meet GCT payments and outstanding wage settlements. Government has tabled legislation in Parliament that will make the Jamaica Anti-Doping Commission an independent legal body. When it's passed, the Anti-Doping in Sport Act 2014 should facilitate Jamaica's compliance with the revised World Anti-Doping Agency WADA code that comes into effect on January 1, 2015.
This bill seeks to repeal the Anti-Doping in Sport Act of 2008 and make new provisions for anti-doping in sport in order to align Jamaica's anti-doping legislation with the revised World Anti-Doping Code and international standards, which will come in force in January 1, 2015.
The bill was supported by the opposition member responsible for sport, Olivia Grange.
I'm happy that the present administration has continued the policy ensuring that we maintain a level and fair competitive environment.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller has congratulated swimmer Alia Atkinson on her historic performance at the FINA World Championships in Qatar over the weekend. The Prime Minister extended her congratulations through the minister responsible for sport.
On behalf of a grateful nation today, we salute Alia Atkinson on her outstanding achievement as a Jamaican swimmer who has been persistent and determined and has achieved.
On Saturday, Atkinson became the first black woman to win a world swimming title in 40 years and equal the world record set in the 100-meter breaststroke and set a new meet record. And as she met with her CARICOM counterparts in the Cuban capital of Havana Monday, Mrs. Simpson-Miller credited that country with assisting Jamaica's position in the field of athletics. She pointed out that the GC Foster College of Physical Education and Sport, one of the island's premier training grounds for athletes and coaches, was a gift from the Cuban government. And finally, the House of Representatives has adjourned for its annual Christmas break to resume sittings in January. Leader of Government Business in the House, Minister Philip Paulwell, wrapped up the session by declaring a robust term since the start of the new legislative year in April 2014.
leading to the passage of 24 bills and 23 orders and resolutions, and the approval of 8 committee reports and 4 private members' motion, as well as a motion opposing the United States embargo against Cuba.
Before Tuesday's adjournment, Dwayne Vaz was sworn in as the new Member of Parliament for Central Westmoreland. Mr. Vaz ran successfully on the PNP ticket in the recent by-election to fill the seat left vacant following the death of Roger Clark. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.